If you own an above-ground pool and are looking for the best robotic pool cleaner, you're in the right place. And stay tuned because the robot that is the best value surprised me in our testing. It outperformed robots twice its price. Hey there and welcome back to The Pool Nerd. I'm Justin, your resident pool aficionado. And today I'm going to be talking about the best robotic pool vacuum cleaners for above ground pools. I've tested 30 plus robotic pool cleaners from all the top brands. From Yper, Beatbox, Polaris, Dolphin, and more. I've reviewed them all, and if you haven't checked out my individual reviews on each, you should. But if you want to know what to look for, what to avoid, and my top picks for above ground pools, this is the video for you. There are a lot of things you want to look for and a few things to avoid, and I'll cover all of that here. From corded versus cordless, NanoFiltration, and even features like weekly timers that allow your robot to automatically turn on for you. I'll cover it all. By the end, you'll know which robot is the right fit for your pool and my top recommendations. If you have any questions at all about which one is right for your pool, leave a comment below and we'll try to help you decide. Let's dive in. Why use a robotic pool cleaner in an above ground pool? A lot of above ground pool owners assume robotic pool cleaners are just for big in-ground pools, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, if you own an above ground pool, a robotic pool cleaner can make an even bigger difference in how much time you spend maintaining it. Above ground pools collect debris just like in-ground pools. Leaves, bugs, dirt, and even algae spores don't care what kind of pool you have. Without a cleaner, that means you're out there with a manual vacuum or skimmer, sometimes every single day. A robotic pool cleaner takes that chore off your plate. Instead of relying on your pool's pump and filter, robotic pool cleaners run independently, scrubbing and vacuuming on their own power. That means less wear and tear on your pump, better circulation, and crystal clear water with less effort from you. For smaller above ground pools, the benefits are even more noticeable. You don't need a $2,000 commercial robot. Budget-friendly models like the Dolphin Escape or Cayman can keep your pool floor spotless for a fraction of the cost. And with features like weekly timers and NanoFilters, you can automate cleaning and water polishing in a way that simply isn't possible with manual vacuums. At the end of the day, the reason to use a robotic pool cleaner in an above-ground pool is simple. Less time cleaning, more time swimming. But what do you want to avoid when shopping for a pool robot? What to avoid? Cordless pool cleaners. Cordless sounds amazing on paper. No cords, no fuss. But after testing every cordless robot out there, I've learned they all share the same fatal flaws. Constant charging. You'll be pulling the robot out every single day, charging for 4 to 5 hours, then tossing it back in. That's 14 separate interactions per week. Weaker suction. Cordless robots rely on lithium batteries that just can't drive high-powered motors. Even the expensive cordless robots can taper off in suction midway through a cleaning cycle. Safety risks. Some cordless robots, like the Yper Pro, have been recalled due to burn and fire risks. The United States Consumer Product Safety Commission has issued recalls for both the Yper Elite Pro and the Yper Pro. I would never leave a lithium-ion pool cleaner charging unattended after hearing some of the stories of what happened, which is why I try to avoid cordless pool robots. Wheeled units. Robots that rely on wheels instead of tank tracks often slip, stall, or spin in place. Tracks like those on the Dolphin Escape and Cayman grip walls and floors, giving them traction to climb and scrub. Robots with fake reviews. When you shop on Amazon, you'll see thousands of 5-star reviews for brands like Yper, Beatbot, and Winnie. Mozilla's FakeSpot gave those brands F grades for review reliability. Dolphin and Polaris robots earned solid A grades. That tells you something. What to look for. Weekly timers. This is the single most important feature if you want true set-it-and-forget-it automation. A weekly timer lets you program your robot to run daily, every other day, or every third day. You only need to go outside to empty the filter once a week. With a cordless robot, you're charging and restarting every single day. That's not automation, that's babysitting. NanoFilters. Filtration is what separates a decent robot from a great one. Standard mesh filters catch leaves, twigs, and bugs, but NanoFilters trap microscopic debris, silt, dust, algae spore, and pollen. The difference in water clarity is night and day. Side by side, you can see the difference between mesh and NanoFilters. And once you see the difference between dirty and clean NanoFilters, you won't go back. I wouldn't own a pool robot without NanoFilters. Top-loading filters. Bottom-loading robots mean lifting a soaked 20-pound robot onto the deck, flipping it over, and unlocking the filter. Top-loading bins, like the Escape or Cayman's Gen 2 Max bin, you just pop the lid, dump the debris, and drop it back in. It's super easy. Corded versus cordless above-ground pool cleaners. If you've been shopping around for an above-ground pool cleaner, you've probably noticed two big categories: corded robots and cordless robots. On paper, cordless may sound better. No cable in the water, no power supply on the deck, just drop it in and let it go. But after testing more than 30 cleaners, here's the reality. Cordless cleaners usually end up being more hassle than they're worth. The biggest issue is power and recharging. Cordless robots run on lithium-ion batteries, which means they have to conserve energy. That limits suction power, which is the one thing pool robots can't compromise on. Most cordless units I tested topped out at about 1,200 to 1,500 gallons per hour of suction, and many faded halfway through a cleaning cycle. Compare that to corded robots like the Dolphin Escape or Cayman, which run a steady 4,000 gallons per hour from start to finish. The difference in how much debris they vacuum up is insane. Then there's the constant recharging. A cordless cleaner usually runs for 60 to 90 minutes before it needs a 5-hour recharge. That means hauling a wet 20-plus pound robot out of the pool, plugging it in, waiting half a day, then dropping it back in. Do that every single day, and suddenly, cordless convenience feels more like babysitting. If you want to run the cleaner every day, that's 14 separate interactions a week. Once to pull it out to charge, and once to put it back in. With a corded cleaner, you plug it in once, set the weekly timer, and forget about it. You only step outside once a week to rinse the filter. For those that are keeping count, that's 14 versus 1 interaction a week. And finally, safety. Like I said earlier, cordless cleaners have had more than their share of issues. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has recalled tens of thousands of cordless pool robots in the past 2 years for overheating and fire risks. I personally wouldn't leave one charging unattended, especially outdoors in the summer heat. With a corded robot, that's a risk you never have to think about. So what's the bottom line? Cordless above-ground pool robots look sleek in ads, but in real-world use, they're weaker, riskier, and more work. Corded cleaners give you strong suction, better filtration, and true set-it-and-forget-it automation. If you want your pool to be clean without turning it into another chore, corded wins every single time. How did I test? So how did I actually test all these robots? Every single cleaner you see in our videos was running the same above-ground 8x20 Eco Pool container pool that we use as our dedicated test pool. By keeping the environment consistent, I can give you fair apples-to-apples comparisons between different models. Our test pool is a rectangle, which makes it easy to see how well a robot handles straight runs, corners, and wall climbing. But don't worry if your pool is circular or oval-shaped. What I've found is that the performance doesn't change much. A good robot with strong suction and smart navigation will adapt just fine, no matter what the shape is. By testing the same pool repeatedly, we get a good grasp on suction strength, navigation patterns, debris pickup, and filtration quality in a real-world setting. That way, when I say one robot outperforms another, it's based on our opinions and data that we've found from testing over the years. Best above-ground pool cleaners. Before we begin, at the end of the day, it really is simple. In my testing, Dolphin has proven to be the best robotic pool cleaner brand, with Polaris coming in right behind. The cordless units and brands just don't match up. They typically feel lower quality, require constant recharging, and don't deliver the same power. If all you need is a light vacuum, you may be able to go cordless, but they aren't the best. And that is what this list is all about. My personal favorite after all these tests is Dolphin. And while I always keep an eye out for new brands and robots, nothing else I've tested has matched their overall performance so far. Now, let's get into my top 3 picks. Best value, Dolphin Escape. The Dolphin Escape is the model I always point to when someone wants a great robotic pool cleaner without spending a fortune. It's designed primarily for above-ground pools, but in my testing, it holds its own in smaller in-ground setups too. As part of Dolphin's Max series, it comes with SmartNav 2.0 navigation, a top-loading Max bin filter basket, and the HyperBrush active scrubbing system that spins at twice the speed of standard Dolphin brushes. That combination makes it feel like a professional cleaner at an entry-level price. Where the Escape really stands out is its suction power. It produces a flow rate of over 4,000 gallons per hour, which is nearly 3 times what you get from most cordless pool robots for above ground pools. Those cordless units typically top out at 1,200 to 1,500 gallons per hour and then die after an hour or two of runtime. The Escape never slows down mid-cycle. It's corded so you get full power for the entire cleaning cycle. And at 180 watts, it's not only powerful, but it's also energy efficient. Pennies per cycle compared to old school pressure side cleaners that can pull 700 watts or more from a booster pump. By default, the Escape only includes the power supply, which means you have to hit the button to turn it on for its 1.5 hour cycle. But Dolphin also sells an automation timer upgrade that turns it into a true set it and forget it cleaner, which I highly recommend. With the weekly automation timer, you can schedule daily or even every other day cleanings, and the robot will take care of itself while you only need to empty the filter once a week. For me, that upgrade is a must-have if you want the Escape to feel fully automated. It's typically around $99 for the upgrade when buying it from an authorized dealer, which is a deal as a brand new Escape weekly timer usually runs around $300 if purchased separately. Of course, there are still some trade-offs. The Escape doesn't climb walls or scrub the water line. If you want those features, you'll need to step up to the Dolphin Cayman, which adds vertical cleaning, a bigger max spin, and the option for NanoFilters, or the Dolphin Quantum, which takes things even further with waterline cleaning and a double XL basket. But at this price point, the Escape is laser focused on doing one job. If you're looking for upgrades, I always recommend NanoFilters. They trap fine dust, pollen, and silt that the standard mesh can't, and they give your water that resort-style sparkle. As of making this video, you can go directly to their website, escaperobotic.com, and pick up free NanoFilters with your purchase. Another smart move is to keep an eye out for certified open box deals. I've seen Escape units selling for as low as $400 to $500 with a full warranty, which makes it even easier on your wallet. For pool owners who don't mind pressing start a couple times a week, or who grab the weekly timer upgrade for hands-off automation, the Dolphin Escape is hands down the best overall choice when it comes down to value. It's not the cheapest above ground pool cleaner, but it is the best value out there. It's powerful, reliable, affordable, and after weeks of testing in my own pool, I can confidently say it outperforms anything else in this range. Best overall, the Dolphin Cayman. The Dolphin Cayman is what I consider the sweet spot in the Dolphin lineup. It strikes the perfect balance between price, features, and performance, making it one of the best pool robots of the year. Unlike the Escape, which focuses only on the floor, the Cayman adds full wall climbing. Watching it scale walls and scrub all the way up to the waterline is where you realize how much value you're getting at this price point. The standout feature, though, is the included weekly smart timer. This changes the entire experience of owning a robotic pool cleaner. And while it was optional with the Escape, it's included in the box with the Cayman. With the weekly timer with auto start, the Cayman runs automatically every day without you lifting a finger. And all you need to do is empty the filter once a week. That's real automation, the kind that makes you forget about pool cleaning altogether. After using weekly timer, I can't imagine using a robot that you have to recharge every day. Performance-wise, the Cayman is a workhorse. Its hyper brush spins twice as fast as standard brushes, cleaning algae and stuck-on grime. Once dislodged, it gets vacuumed up into the max bin. Thanks to its corded design, it filters 4,000 gallons per hour without ever slowing down mid-cycle. And the Gen 2 max bin it comes with is a big upgrade over older models, holding 50% more debris than the first generation filters. If you want to take things a step further, upgrading to NanoFilters is a no-brainer. The standard mesh handles leaves and larger debris just fine, but the NanoFilters polish the water by trapping dust, pollen, and fine silt that usually slip through. The difference is immediately noticeable. Your water doesn't just look clean, it has that clear, sparkling look that you won't get from other filters. At under $1,000, the Cayman feels like it's punching above its weight. It brings in features you'd expect on more expensive Pro-line models, but keeps the price in a range most pool owners can justify. For me, it's the perfect choice if you want complete floor and wall coverage, daily automation, and cleaner water without overspending. The Dolphin Cayman doesn't just maintain your pool, it transforms the entire experience of owning one. Best splurge, Dolphin Quantum. The Dolphin Quantum sits in a different league altogether. And it may be overkill for an above ground pool, but if you have a larger above ground pool it's the best of the best on this list. As part of Dolphin's Pro line, alongside the Premier and the Sigma, it's built to deliver serious cleaning power, advanced filtration, and smart navigation. If the Escape is the best value and the Cayman is the best overall, the Quantum is the splurge pick, the one you buy when you want the best of the best. What makes Quantum stand out immediately is its oversized XXL max bin. It's massive, 225% larger than standard filters. While the Cayman and Escape share the standard max bin, the XXL max bin is noticeably larger. If your pool is surrounded by trees or constantly filling up with debris, the max bin is a lifesaver. You can run multiple cleaning cycles without stopping to empty it, which means less maintenance for you and a pool that stays consistently cleaner. Pair that with the included NanoFilters, and the Quantum doesn't just catch leaves and twigs, it polishes the water by trapping microscopic stuff like dust, pollen, and algae spores. The difference in water clarity is something you can see after just a single run. The cleaning coverage is another area where the Quantum justifies its price. Thanks to its PowerJet 3D mobility, it doesn't just climb walls vertically, it can move horizontally along the waterline. That's where oils from sunscreen, sweat, and grime tend to collect, and it's a spot many cheaper robots ignore. The Quantum scrubs right through it, leaving your pool looking and feeling freshly serviced. In our testing in our test pool, it moves horizontally along the waterline, scrubbing away. The Quantum may be more robot than some above-ground pool owners need, especially if you have a smaller above-ground pool with light debris. But for larger pools, or anyone who wants the closest thing to a professional service without hiring one, it's worth every penny. Between the huge max bin, the NanoFilters, and its ability to handle the entire pool from floor to waterline, the Quantum delivers a level of thoroughness and convenience that few other robots can match. If the Cayman feels like the perfect balance, the Quantum is the upgrade you make when you want to take things further. It's the robot that leaves you with sparkling water, spotless walls, and less work than you ever thought possible. Final verdict. So what's my final verdict on above ground pool cleaners? They're Pool Nerd approved. Make sure to look for a corded robot with good filtration and a weekly timer. If you want the best value that still delivers serious suction, go with the Dolphin Escape. If you want automation plus wall climbing without overspending, the Dolphin Cayman is the smart choice. If you want the cleanest possible pool with full coverage, the Dolphin Quantum is worth the splurge. Cordless cleaners may sound tempting, but in real-world use, they're more hassle, less power, and carry safety risks. Corded robots with weekly timers and NanoFilters are the only way to get true set-it-and-forget-it cleaning. If you want to keep nerding out over your pool, head on over to thepoolnerd.com/deals, where I post the best deals on robotic pool cleaners and other pool gear.